Now for tonight, there's a reason why you don't see a thumbnail up. For tonight, I figured we would focus on the channel. For us to talk about the channel and a direction that it somewhat is seeming to head in. Now, I know that a good portion of you guys swipe away without, viewing. And, that doesn't bother me. If you don't like the views I describe or things I say, you're free to do so. Alright? That's the whole part of this thing. I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody on what you don't like. That's just your choice. I just want to let you guys know that I do my best when I talk about things, when I find articles on Facebook about games, I read them, I study them. I try my best whenever I see if it's a rumor, if it's true. I pay attention to it closely. I look out for things, if they're going to be legit or not. I do pay close attention to what's going on through social media. I look at things on Google. I do try to pay close attention. By far, I'm not like these other professional YouTubers, but rest assured, everything I like to discuss and talk about and giving my opinions about these video games, this is just views coming from me. And I want to let you guys know one thing, that I work so hard that I'll work until almost midnight. There's nights I'll go until like 11 or almost midnight. That I will go that late and fall asleep around that hour. But during those times, I also try to make sure that I'm putting enough shorts on the channel, that I'm putting enough content up there for you guys, so you guys have enough going on the channel to be able to view from, to be able to watch and enjoy. I try my best to get gaming videos put up there of my games and everything. I do my best to try and figure out what games to play. I do try to squeeze in time in between my doctor's appointments and my IRL life to be able to put those up as well. I do accept fan feedback. I do accept feedback from everybody. So if you want to come in and give me suggestions on games you would want to see on the channel, let me know. I would appreciate that. That would help me tremendously. Not only that, I'm trying my best to try to reach a subscriber count of, or a amount of subscribers, because I also want to do the live thing where we can do games live. I am currently trying to also work up to where eventually I could get a better way to film my gaming videos instead of just using my phone, like my cell phone or whatever. Trying to build up to that. Eventually things are going to get better for the channel, but for now, like I always say, gotta work with what I have. And I am doing the best I can working with what I have. I do have a lot of games. I got Division 2, I got 2K25, GTA 5 Online, Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. I have other games in the game store, but I would have to actually look, to see what I have. But I've been so excited because every other day I'm seeing a ton of games coming out. I mean, guys, we got games coming out there left and right. We got Resident Evil 9. We got Capcom that is currently working on DLCs for Resident Evil 9. We got remaster being done for Call of Duty Black Ops 2, possibly. We got, well, not possibly, according to what I've seen, if what I've seen is legit enough, that they're wanting to remaster Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now that's recently what I've seen from Activision. Um, but just take it for what it is, because, that might not be entirely true, like I've said, because, there's a lot going on at the studios right now. Because the thing of it is, they're currently trying to figure out, right at Xbox at the moment, how to get their revenue back up. Because after they had spiked up Game Pass was spiked up to 30, now it's lowered. Now they got to figure out how to get the money back up and get subscribers back up, even for that. So, but I don't take everything literally, because, it's a process for it all. Same goes for Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, Rockstar right now, yeah, they may not have released that third trailer, but they will. They're just trying to perfect everything else. They're currently working hard to try to get everything done to the best finer detail. Because when you got investors, you got people waiting in the wings, you got people watching you, you are going to make sure that your product is going to be the best it can be. Because those investors, they can either take or they can leave. Like, they can walk away if your product is not what they are going to be expect it to be. Because these are investors that every day they see products that they invest in. And the fact that they've invested what they have into GTA 6, they're going to make sure that Rockstar's not going to let them down. That's the big thing here. So, Rockstar's got a lot riding on this. So they got to make sure that they're going to please their investors. They got to make sure that this is going to be done to, the best major details that they could possibly do. Even if it's a third trailer, they still have to make sure it's going to be done to the best finer, the best quality, especially because they know they got investors watching as they make moves. Same goes for Strauss Zelnick. He knows what's on the line with this, because he's currently got his people along with Rockstar's people. So they know they got eyes watching them. So they know they're going to have to make sure it's done to the best. Nothing but the best. So, but that's like, Capcom, I'm not surprised, because they've never done anything halfway. Not from what I've seen, since I followed them from the first make of Resident Evil. And honestly, 30 years of Resident Evils, and they're still going strong, does not surprise me. I just think it's awesome to see how far they've taken this story, and now they're going to add more DLCs to Resident Evil 9. I'll tell you what, man, since I picked up the controller to play Resident Evil 9, when I get that controller in my hand again, I can't stop playing it, dudes. Honestly. I've been loving it so much that it's just a pure addiction. It's almost like my addiction to sugar. Once you pick up your favorite candy bar or your favorite dessert. Once you start, you can't stop. So that's the way it is with me for like Resident Evil and what is it? Can't say wrestling anymore. Um, I would say Grand Theft Auto 5 a little bit. Um, but Division 2. Now, here's where it gets a little bit repetitive for Division 2 for me. The only thing that gets a little bit repetitive is going after Black Tusk. That's where it gets repetitive for me. Now, I love the game of Division 2 because you can build up your gear pieces, you can get different gear pieces that might either one weaken your gear set or strengthen your gear set. You can find ways to build it and make it stronger and stuff like that. But sometimes, it's stuff like that that's awesome about it, and the different guns you come across. But when you got to battle the Black Tusk, and you got to go into their territory and stuff like that, that's where it becomes a little bit crazy or a little bit repetitive. And going into the dark zones, that's where it kind of drives you crazy. Because sometimes you'll have these constant players. You'll go in there and sit and try to go and do stuff, and you're going to be sitting in there getting picked off. Yeah, I mean, I get it's the aim of the game, and that's what the dark zone is all about. But sometimes it does get to a point where it is just irritating. Um, Especially at the end of the day, if all you want to do is just like go in and play a few hours of your game, and you kind of don't want to be disrupted and all that. If you don't want it that way, where you don't want to be disrupted constantly, that's where it gets irritating, truthfully. I am excited for the games that are coming. And it's awesome because I've been seeing a lot more games that they're starting to stretch out between 2027 to 2028 now. And I believe when it comes to the Black Ops 2, they do want to release that, I believe, for 2027 to 2028. Is what I've seen for that one. So, yeah. But yeah, as far as the channel is concerned, I'm continuing to work hard. But I can only do so much myself with the videos I put out, the shorts that I put out whenever I catch something on Facebook, or I see something through like an article. I try to read it in detail, do the best I can to get it across, and do the best I can of paying attention of what's going on, whether it is a rumor, whether it is legit of it coming or not. I try to do my best with it. I will eventually try to get back to Hitman 3, or Hitman in general. I've just had a lot going on. So I try to squeeze things in between as much as I can. But you know how that goes, because life can kind of drag us in more than one direction. As far as what I've seen going on with everything so far, it's looking like it's going to be pretty awesome. And this the thing with the Steam controller, it's really cool that the Steam controller is out there. Um, I don't really have no thoughts or opinions on the Steam controller because honestly, I'm more of what you call a console gamer, and I always will be a console gamer through and through. I mean, that's not really going to change for me. Um, in the way of that, I'm just, yeah, I'm gonna stay console through and through. Um, Trying to think. Trying to think of what else I wanted to cover. But as far as the direction of Xbox bouncing back, I see them bouncing back as long as they start taking the right steps and start making the right choices that they can bounce back from it. Um, Truthfully, in my opinion, with it all, I just think that they should have looked into the studios and looked into things that were bringing down revenue in the first place instead of just going along jacking prices up and going along and doing that. Because the thing of it is, they deprived players more than they benefited the players. Now, this is just my opinion. Because truthfully, Game Pass is a great service. In my opinion, Game Pass is similar to a Blockbuster, similar to a rental service that used to exist out there. A try before you buy. And that's what's great about it. Now that I've understood about Game Pass and what Game Pass actually has to offer, it is a service that I don't think they should have ever jumped the price on. Because I think that if they were to really see what this can do and what this can really, how they can benefit from it, um, because a lot of the fan base and a lot of the players out there, if more people were to try games through Game Pass and all that, and they see if their favorite games are there, and they would start liking them more. Like if they would see their favorite games and they'd end up saying, "Oh, this is cool," and want to buy it, at least they'd have a way to try before buying. Now, I don't know PlayStation's setup, but I know personally, from my opinion, if I would have never done of testing games through Game Pass myself, I probably would have never went back to Resident Evil 9. Or I would have never went back to Resident Evil. Or even Village. Or Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. See, those are games that I never played until I picked up Game Pass. Those were games I didn't even think of touching until I started using Game Pass. Same goes for Call of Duty. Like for a while I sat Call of Duty down, didn't even pick it up, didn't even buy it. But whenever I ended up understanding Game Pass a little bit more and started to understand the way to go about it, I started ending up experiencing games, and it opened up a whole new thing to me, to where I started experiencing games that I haven't played for a while, games I've never played, and I started playing them. I started getting into them. I started enjoying them and getting them and playing them and investing in them. Investing my hours, my time, putting some of it up on my channel because I've enjoyed it that much and wanted to share it with all of you. Because the thing of it is, I wanted to share the experience that I experienced while sitting there and playing on my system, just to have the fun and show everybody the enjoyment that I was getting from it as well, because I had just as much fun playing them. So I just think that that's the great thing about Game Pass, is what you get from it, what you benefit from having it. So I just hope that they do bounce back. Now, another thing about 2K26, because there's also been a lot of things going around about that too, because everybody's been also tossing some stuff around about it. I've seen that that's a 3-star. It's got 3 stars, and I know there's also a lot of mixed feelings surrounding that. And because it's a Take-Two Interactive design game, there's always a lot of animosity or like different opinions about it. In my opinion, the reason why I don't really play much of the wrestling anymore, the business has changed so much that the storylines do not seem to appeal to me much anymore. I don't seem to have the same desire that I once did to even follow it. I mean, there was a time maybe I wanted to get into the business. There was a time maybe that I was enjoying them. But when they started taking out certain matches, they took out where the wrestlers could do their promos throughout the entire game, even in like universe mode, and like, I mean, the thing of it is, promos were a huge part of it, whether it was with a created superstar or even the superstar themselves. Because we all know the promos are what made things awesome, especially when DX did their famous lines whenever they were out there. Stone Cold Steve Austin had his famous lines that he did, his famous promos. All those guys, even Foley and all of them, had their famous lines, and you could experience that throughout the entire game. Whether it was through like universe mode or story mode. You had hardcore fights. You had it to where you could choose to go back. You could choose to attack your opponent way before the match. Like, you could jump them backstage and they'd come out and they were partially messed up, before they'd come out to fight you. Now, I don't know if that is included in 2K26, and I don't know if promos are included throughout, because I don't know what they did with 2K26, but it's just in IRL, in real life too. It's just, I don't know. The storylines for the wrestling anymore, they don't seem to be like they used to be. You know? And then I also started watching a bunch of different shows on TV. So, now that I have gotten into a whole bunch of different shows, that also has changed things for me. So, but basically, like I said, I will be working hard on this channel to keep putting videos up, to keep doing these live shows once a week. I will be trying to get more content out. We will be working on Hitman 1, 2, and 3 to finish those out. I've just been playing Resident Evil 9 Requiem, pretty much just playing that off the recordings, but that's pretty much, I'm just doing that, as a side thing. But honestly, I just want to hear from everyone in the audience, if there's games out there you can think of for the channel that I can do and to put up. And if you want to further support the channel, like I said, just make sure your notification bells are on all. And if you want to, like I said, click on like, sharing, all those things is a way you can help. I don't twist anyone's arm. I just let everyone know if you want to. It's your choice. But I love doing this. I love talking games. I like coming on here once a week to do this. It means a lot to me to come on here and discuss gaming. And it seems like at this point, Asha Sharma as boss, she is taking it in the right direction. I like how she is also not afraid to be investigating and looking into what's going on. However, a little bit of what concerns me is now we got AI team in place. So we really don't know what's going to come of this thing. But we knew it was coming. Because the thing is, everywhere you look, technology is involved everywhere. Our world has evolved into a world full of technology now. So the thing of it is, we knew it was going to happen. We knew the world was going to change and start going into a world full of technology. But the one thing that we should be happy about is the games are getting better. We do have games to where they are getting better. Little by little, they're getting better. They're improving. There are studios taking notice. And we do have some studios that are working hard to make better games, but and I have no judgment against Sony or Nintendo, none of it. I believe that Series S is a good system, that the Series X is also a good system, and so is PlayStation. So is the Nintendo Switch too, and even Nintendo Switch. But the thing is, the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch and even Nintendo Switch 2, I just don't play on handhelds because it's a personal choice. Now, I used to play on PlayStation when the first one came out, first and second and third, but once I went over to Xbox, that was it. But when I started out, of course, I started out on the Atari. So I started out on the Atari with Dig Dug, Space Invaders. Can't remember the others though. There were so many games for the Atari. And I also had like an Apple Macintosh computer. There was a desktop back in that time as well. So it was a lot of transitioning over time as more tech came out. But we also back then, you also had dial-up internet. So that wasn't really fun. The dial-up internet connection was like, I would have to say, the most irritating thing. That was the most irritating thing about those times was when you were trying to connect to go online, the dial-up internet days, oh my goodness, were those some of the most irritating days. If anybody remembers those days, the dial-up internet days, they would know exactly what I'm talking about. Because those were the days that were the hardest to get through. I managed to get through those dial-up internet days. And now I'm here. I'm here in these days now where you don't have to worry about that now. Because now you got this like high-speed internet now. Sorry about that. Where you got the high-speed internet, faster connections, low latency. So, and I've seen that some people are already getting to play Forza Horizon 6. Now, I'm not really a racing type of guy, but I'm just wondering, like, how are some people already playing Forza Horizon 6? Is it because some people got, like, an early way to do that? Like, did they get on an early testing thing for it to be able to try it? I'm just curious. But it looks like it's pretty awesome. From what I've seen a little bit of it. Because Jimmy Champagne, he's a guy that I have followed for a while. And I seen that he was talking about how he got to play it. I think he said he was playing it on his handheld. I think said he was playing it on his handheld, his Steam machine or something. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's pretty awesome, truthfully. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the showcase in about a month here. And I'm excited to see what they're going to put into the showcase. All I can say is Jeff Keighley's going to have his hands full because all these games coming out this year and the way they keep pumping out more, Jeff Keighley's going to get flooded because there's going to be so much and they're going to have to sort it out and figure out what they're going to say or what they're going to have and what they're not going to have. Like, what are they going to talk about? What's going to be out there? What isn't? What they're saving? Because honestly, everyone, when you think about the amount of games in 2026, they're not going to be able to talk about them all. Like, they're only going to be able to discuss a limited amount of what's basically going to be coming. They probably already have a list broken down. Like, they probably already have that mapped out anyway. Because with these shows, they always do that. Like, they always have things mapped out anyway and already set to go way before these shows. Yeah, even before the summer showcase and Jeff Keighley's thing, like, they always have it mapped out, or they always have it set and ready to go way before it. But like I said, I mean, this year it's like mind blown type of thing, because the thing is, there's so much. And then you got remakes, you got remasters, you got games that are just outright getting done. You know, like, when you think about the amount that has dropped and has said it's going into play, you know, it's crazy. And then some of the stuff that they said they're going to do next year too. We do not have empty years at all between now to 2027 to 2028. And then it still blows my mind because of the fact that when now they're talking about Hitman 4 releasing in 2031. 2031, because of James Bond coming out May 26th, 2026. So that's just crazy right there in itself. Amongst other games. Like, they're doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When's the last time that you guys could think of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game being done? Because if you see, they have one that they're going to do, but this is actually going to look more realistic. And according to what I've seen, this is coming out between 2027 to 2028. And it's supposed to be called The Last Ronin, or Ronnie, whatever the title is. And I have a short on my channel, by the way, of it. It's supposed to come out for PlayStation 5, I believe. But yeah, they were talking about that. So it's crazy when you think about it. Even them wanting to do a Twisted Metal remake or remaster, whichever they want to do, even for PS5. Like, when you think about these games they're wanting to do, you think about all these titles that they have mentioned, that they have said that they're considering. Now, mind you, considering, not confirmed. Quotation, not confirmed. You know, don't get that mixed up or confused here with, you know, me saying confirmed. No, it just, they're considering, they're thinking about it. But imagine if it would happen. Just picture for 1 second if it would happen for somebody. It's like, you know how old Twisted Metal is? Twisted Metal had been in existence for a long time prior to them even thinking about, releasing it. They did a series, I believe, on Netflix of Twisted Metal, but for them to go and make a game for PlayStation 5, I think would be an awesome thing. Bringing something like that to life for next gen would be an awesome thing. I really think it would be. But yeah, if you see a lot of the shorts I have up, you can see a lot of the games that some of them are speculation, some of them are rumored at this point. But if you see what I mean about how much they are trying to toss out there, you will see how much it is blowing your mind about what they're wanting to do. Like almost every other day, I'm seeing about them wanting to try to put this game out, or that game out, or this game out, or that game out. And then when I see the 2026 year, where are you going to put them? What month? I'm saying to myself, I'm like, what month are you guys planning to put this? When you have how many titles that are already there and in existence, like where are you sticking these people? What about 2027? What about 2028? Make some space, give some room, let your titles breathe, because your titles need that breathing room in order to get the fanfare that you want them to get. Because they're not going to get the right fanfare if you're trying to jam them into an already stacked card with video games already. I mean, I'm passionate and I love video games as much as the next gamer. But when you want to try to fill an already stacked card that has so many in it already, I'm sorry, but you're looking to try and especially when people have their wallets that feel like it's already burning by the time we pay our utilities or pay for whatever we pay for, and it's already rough on us as is, that how are we going to afford games we want, whenever it's already tough as is. So, but honestly, it's awesome, because they're pumping games out and they're bringing these cool games out there. Don't get me wrong, I love the production. I love how they're not wasting effort to give us games. But I just think they're trying to go too far because they're bringing out way too many. They're producing way too many in 1 year. I just think, in a way, maybe they should consider 2027, 2028. Give some room, give some space. And it also work for them because it gives them a chance if there's bugs or things they need to work out. It's giving them an opportunity to do that. So it's just giving them a chance to take and, if they need to do a little bit of extra work, a little bit of extra buffering or whatever they need, at least they'd have that chance to do that. If they would space it out instead of putting a 2026 release date or a release year of 2026. But you can feel free to come in and share your thoughts. I don't want to be the only guy on a rambling tangent here and, not let others come and voice their opinions, because truthfully, that's what this is all about when I go live like this. You know, you could come in and chime in. Feel free. You know, that's what my lives are all about. For us to talk as a community. You know, I built this so we can all talk as a community. Yeah, that's what this is all about. But honestly, I mean, from what I've been seeing each and every day, I've been seeing a lot of cool things going on. As far as gaming, accessories, I really haven't seen all that much accessories from Xbox, which I can understand. Um, there used to be a lot more accessories that were coming. It was coming out for Xbox, but truthfully, what I like that I'm seeing from Sony is the skins. They are bringing a lot more decorative skins for the PlayStation. Now, I think that's awesome because if I'm not wrong, and you could correct me on this if I am wrong, but there hasn't been that much skins coming out for the PlayStation 5 at all, if I'm not wrong. I mean, you guys can chime in and tell me, but I think it's awesome that they're doing the themed skins based off of like the games that are coming out and stuff like that, and giving the option. Like, I think it's awesome that they're showing off like a Wolverine type of thing, a Spider-Man skin. Like, I think that a lot more of that stuff, themed skins based off the games, I think that should even happen for like the Xbox as well, in a way. Because I think what that would do is I think that would boost morale. I think that would also be a morale boost for not just PlayStation, but I think that would also be a good thing for Xbox, because that would give a chance for people, if they want to decorate their system and take it from like just a plain system and having something themed. Yeah, and just instead of having it being like a plain system with like no decoration of any sort, you know, that they'd have something from a game that they would buy or whatever, you know, because that was also a nice part, is having something to go along with a game you would purchase or get, you know. Kind of like how they used to have the maps inside of the games and stuff. You know, like how they would do that with the games where you had the maps and the little things that were included within your games. Those things were cool. And they were cool for the nostalgic factor of what it would bring. Because then you used to say to yourself, you were like, wow, this is cool. Because not only did I get a game, but I got a map for the game. Yeah, and you're like, oh, this is cool. You know, I got something as a collector along with this game. So I just didn't get the game, but I also got a map to go with it. And that was always fun, you know, to have something like that. And as far as the price for the next Xbox, the Helix, now the thing is, it's understandable when it comes to that price. And when you consider how much it really is for basically a high-end PC and all that, you're going to be paying a little under what it would cost for a PC. So, and with the Helix, and from what I'm seeing of the specs, the chip, everything you're getting in it, you're basically getting the same capability that you would if you had a high-end PC. I watch this also this other guy, Colt Eastwood, and he's a graphic designer and all that, and he knows some stuff about chipsets, and he does know some stuff about, the compute units and the processing. And when you think about it, AMD, those people from Korea and all that, and people from Japan, they have gone to college here in the U.S., some of them, and some of them probably have gone to school even in their country, maybe. Can't say that for all of them. But the chips that they're designing, these chips are going to have even AI rendering power in them. And when you think about the detail that they're putting into this one, they're going to put detail and they're going to put strength into this one that's really going to push the threshold this time. And it's going to go above and beyond what the Xbox Series X is capable of. Because this time they were told to go as far as they could push it. Because the thing of it is, now they have to. Because now games are demanding it now. We need that now because these games are getting bigger. The games are starting to get to a point where it needs more processing power. It needs more graphical strength. It needs more strength to run, to function. Because when you got these games that are so much bigger, and these games have these worlds that are like this, in order for those worlds to run, you have to have a chip that is nothing like any other. You have to have a chip that is capable of the most massive power you could possibly design in order to run these worlds now. So you're talking about a chip that is going to have the fastest power. You're talking about something that probably would end up picking up about near 13,000 megabytes per second as far as internet. Or so. Maybe a little more than that. It's going to have AI in it. The compute units that are going to be in this are going to make games feel like it's real. And as far as what I've seen, they're going to make this stuff, it's going to take gaming to where you would end up feeling like you can't tell the difference between real life and what's on the game. Because that's how they're going to start making stuff now. So when they say next level, they're going next level. Because like they always say, no other direction but up. So, yeah. And that's just my opinion right there, but I know it's going to be intense. It's going to be cool though. And I'm honored to see the way gaming is going to be going, because 38 years, almost 40 years of this. Almost 40 years of being passionate about games getting made and created and being a part of something bigger than myself has been a great pleasure. I can't say that I'm any happier than being here and building a community with all of you. I'll be honored to keep going, to keep doing it. As long as you guys are here to support, I'll keep doing this. But remember, it takes all of us. I love doing these shows and discussing about how awesome games are. I love picking up that controller. I love grabbing a hold of it and being a part of these worlds and these stories being told to me. Like, I even sat the other day and I talked to my fiance. I said, sometimes when I'm sitting here and I'm gaming, I feel like the games are like a storybook, a digital storybook. Because that's the way it does feel. Sometimes it's like a digital storybook that when you're playing it, scene for scene and level for level, that it makes it feel like a storybook that's being told. That's how I feel each time. It doesn't matter what game I'm playing, because all of them feel that way. But that's what's awesome about them. That's what's cool about each of them, is each of the games have a story to tell. They all have their own story to tell you. And each of them have this magnificent adventure that gets told to you through the game. But the only way to continue to have that story being told to you is by going forward in the game. That is the only way. And that's the fun of it. That's the adventure part of it. As you're doing these missions and you're going further and further, that's the only way you'll know how the story's going to go. And that's the best part about it. Especially when you're playing the story-driven games. The games that actually have a story. The ones that you have that story with. Those are the only ones that I think that are the best ones, to be honest. like Division 2, Ghost Recon Wildlands, maybe. I definitely can say it's true with Grand Theft Auto 5, online and offline. Definitely with the Resident Evil games, you definitely get a story told to you. The only time you really get a story told to you when it comes to the wrestling ones is, I think, when you go through like the My Rise mode or the Superstar thing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, because they've always tried to name it a ton of different things. Um, Watch Dogs Legion kind of has a story-driven thing on it, but not all. I don't know if you can really consider that a story-driven thing. At least I don't really think you can, because that's what I'm trying to think, like games that are story-driven. But I know there's a lot of them out there that are story driven. It's pretty cool. But I do really enjoy doing this when it comes to the channel. So, now mainly I just wanted to discuss pretty much, about the channel and the direction that I want to take it in. I am working on trying to make sure that I get back into recording and putting more videos out there of Hitman. I'm trying to work on finishing Hitman out in between taking care of doctor's appointments. That does get kind of rough because, ever since they found arthritis in the back. But I will be working on that again. Hopefully tomorrow I can get some time in on that. So be on the lookout for that to drop by tomorrow. I should have that video recorded of Hitman. I'm going to try to get that on the channel. But of course, I will also try to at least get a few shorts dropped on this channel, depending on if I end up catching anything that's interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen or not about Jack Black wanting to star in Red Dead Redemption 3 as himself, playing a character. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I don't know. Jack Black in the Wild West. What would you guys think about that, huh? Jack Black in the Wild West. What are your thoughts and opinions on that? I mean, it would be kind of cool. I don't know how they would go about setting him up. a little bit for something like that. Um, I think it's a unique idea for him to step up and kind of want to go Wild West thing for him. But yeah, I think it'd be something. I think it'd be interesting to say the least for him to go that direction. So trying to think. Now, I will be continuing to do this on Thursday nights, and like I always say, you can always come in here and chat and contribute by chatting with me. You know, it's always free to come in here and chat. Um, like I said, I've been trying my best with the shorts and with the long form videos, with the recording, trying to do it as long as I can do it to get them up on the channel here. So, sometimes that can be rough, when I got my teenager to manage, and I got other things that I do in between. But everyone that has been here with me, greatly appreciate it. Um, so, but I will be continuing, like I said, will be continuing my hard work of putting up the shorts and, putting the long form videos out there. And I will work on trying to improve the way I do things. So right now it's just a process that I have to do things the way I can for now until I build up, to being able to do more. So, but for now, all I can manage, or all I can do is manage the way I've been doing. So, now you can let me know if you want to see 2K25 included at all in the channel. If you don't want to, that's fine. If off and on, you wouldn't mind having chilled time with like Grand Theft Auto 5 online, there's times I can jump on there, see what's going on there. Because sometimes I like to jump on there and just see what's going on. Because I never know what's going on there from time to time. So there are times I just jump on there, see what's going on, see if there is anything interesting on there. Sometimes there isn't, sometimes there is. Sometimes I just completely ignore GTA 5 online because I always, well, can't say always, just sometimes I get those like annoying players that, sorry about that. I get those annoying players that would just as soon blow me up instead of wanting to game with me instead. So that's why I don't always jump on there, but sometimes I will. So I don't always want to play Resident Evil 9 on a video because I don't want to bore you guys to death with that one. Because you can only play a certain game for an amount of time, and then you can get drove nuts by it, by always seeing it. Trying to think. But I will tell you, I've been enjoying doing this. Yeah, making the shorts, paying attention to what's been going on out there. At times picking that controller up when I have the energy to pick it up. Because there's some days where I do have trouble motivating myself. But once I get that motivation underneath me, I take off with it. I take off and go. That one night I was playing Grand Theft, it was like nothing. Like, yeah, I had this one player where we kept on rolling. Until they decided to go in the military base and kill me right near a jet. Then I said to myself, I was like, okay, what in the world was that all about? But it ain't the first time anyone's ever done that to me. Lots of people have done that to me before. So that was like not an uncommon thing for me to have happen, to be honest. Got me a brand new controller, which I'm glad, because my other one got old, bit of dust. So it feels good to have a brand new controller. If you guys notice, I got a better internet, or a better Ethernet cable. It really hypes my speed up on my stuff, so that is basically new. That's why everything's running a lot better. Eventually I will be getting a nicer webcam. That is to come for the channel. So, and of course what you see by me, yeah, that's my living room setup. So I'm not sure. I do know I want to finish Hitman out. Because I'd like to go Hitman 2, and then 3. Because I do want to continue us celebrating. Using that to celebrate. Even though they're waiting till 2031 for the release of Hitman 4, which, yeah, I know, 2031 release because of, 007 coming out, First Light coming out May 26th, 2026, or 26th, 2026, so yeah, I want to do that, and then after I do that, I'd like to do some Division 2 because we got Division 3 that's coming. Now, I don't know if, I know probably a lot of you have also seen on my channel that I have Division Division 3 short up there in reference to them going first person. Now, my thoughts and views are, if they were to go first person, it might be an alright thing, maybe. A little bit of a change. I mean, yeah, it would be a little bit of a change, a little bit of a difference. But the thing of it is, why not? I would just try it, try it to see, if I could handle it. But, that's just me. So, but I am looking forward to Division 3 when it comes. The third trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 for definite. When that drops, I will be excited to see that. I mean, let rumors be rumors. Don't try to stretch the truth out about them, because, rumors will be rumors for a reason. In due time, they're going to let us know about this stuff. Like, they'll tell us about GTA 6 for the trailer. Like, they'll start giving us info as things draw near. Because I don't think we're going to get any information unless they feel as though they're ready to put it out there. So, I mean, we are going to hear things about stuff coming out, stuff getting released. We're going to get that info in due time. It's not like we're going to get the info right away. But we will get the information. It will drop. It will come out. We're not going to get gypped. We're not going to get ripped off. I can tell you that right now. And I can tell you that with certainty, because the thing of it is, this is a period where they're going to make sure that when stuff does drop, that it's going to drop in best form possible. Because these companies now have a lot on the line. Because the thing of it is, things are getting shook up in companies. Like, as you see, Xbox now is getting shook up. Now, what I mean by shook up, Asha Sharma's finally got her team in place. And it's getting shook up. Because now that her team is in place, and she's got her people in their positions, she's in hers, you will start seeing changes. But you won't start seeing major changes till 2027. You'll see minute traces of changes, maybe little ones, but you're not going to see these like blow your mind insane changes. And there's a reason for that. Because they're not going to bring the big changes until it's time for the release of the Helix. Because they're not going to do that until they're ready to release the next gen. Because they will end up bringing us more changes once the Helix gets ready to drop. Because once that helix is ready to drop, that's when things are going to shake up in the gaming industry. And that is when we're going to have the biggest shake up and shock of a lifetime. Because you're talking about a system, but not just any system. A system that is going to be able to do more than any system you've ever seen. Forget about the way the other Xboxes ran, or how, like, Xboxes before it. AI is going to rise up. It is already AI has already risen in many other forms, but now it's going to rise in the form of an Xbox in name of Helix. And you're going to see what it's going to do for games. It's going to take games and make them feel like they've never felt before. Because it's going to revolutionize gaming like gaming has never been before. It's going to give the shake up to gaming that gaming needs, in my opinion. But hopefully, when it does, that it brings about the best for gaming. But these changes that do get made, I'm looking for everything to get better than it's ever been. That I'm hoping that gaming I'm hoping that we're done with half-baked games. That we are done with games that have to always go back and be patched. Or that these companies have to spend extra to do it. I'm looking forward to changes for them. Now, I know I'm not going to be able to afford the Helix. I will enjoy the system that I have, because gaming to me is just fun in general. And I'm just hoping for improvements. It makes it easier on these people that design these games for a living. That it makes it easier for the devs. Because the biggest thing I do not agree with is the people that run this stuff. These people don't deserve to lose their jobs like this. They really don't. Not whenever these are people that have worked their whole lives for these positions. They have waited nearly a decade, if not more, So many people have gotten their degrees in graphic design to be in the positions that they're in for this. They didn't do it so they could be stripped of their titles. They didn't do it so they could be stripped of their jobs. They did it so they can have their jobs and be a part of this, be a part of the change, a part of the revolutionary change in gaming as it changes, as it evolves, as it gets better. That's why these people do this and why they stick with it. Now, I really don't have too many more thoughts. I just wanted to come on here, share a couple of things about the channel, the direction I'm wanting to take it, and how I will continue to keep working on this channel. I'm only one person, and I can do this, but with some help will help me to get it done. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to me. Those of you that have supported me, my viewers, my subscribers, thank you for sticking in. Thank you for being there, for the support. It means a lot. I might not make sense sometimes. I might not have all this wealth of knowledge that most people have. But one thing I do really see is that quality needs to happen in the industry. And people do not need to lose their jobs over some senseless technology, some AI technology. Can AI technology be used for changing things? Yeah. But it shouldn't be for taking people's jobs away. Don't get me wrong on that one. People should keep their jobs and not lose them. But if you want to use technology to make gaming better, go for it. Don't be trying to steal people's jobs from them. But basically, this is where I'm going to wrap it up. I'm basically going to leave you with some food for thought. Just remember that when you consider swiping from this, just remember how hard I work day in, day out. Some nights I work until 10, 11 o'clock. I'll be on my phone scrolling, seeing if there's anything on social media, games-wise or anything, shorts for channels, or for my channel before I go to sleep at night. I always think about this channel and in ways I can make it better and improve it for all of us. But always remember that as we have this AI technology and it goes and gets advanced, just remember it should never steal someone else's job that they work hard to get. Yes, it's great because it improves things. It can make our lives better. It can make our experiences, entertainment experiences better. But it should not take jobs from people that work hard to get those. So always keep those things in mind. But thank you for the support. Thank you for what you do to help me out. And let's continue to grow this channel. And let's continue to be a community and talk and chat and share our love of gaming and what we enjoy about it. So take care, everyone. I will catch you on the flip side.